welcome to my channel. We are going to be doing a question a day in May where I will be answering a question each day from a member of my community. It's kind of in the title, right? And I also thought it might be fun to show you around my neighbourhood. So if you don't know, I live in Japan, kind of out in the countryside, and I'll share my lovely neighbourhood with you. Okay, let's get on to today's question. Hello, and today's question is from Mina, and Mina said, Joe, I recently read one of your blog posts about systems and processes and how to set them up at work. Can you explain a bit more about this to me, please? I don't really understand what or why I need to do it. Okay, systems and processes are super important and they are a huge productivity tool. So if nothing else, that's why you should be setting it up, because you'll save yourself a truckload of time. So when I say systems and processes, what I mean is mosquitoes. What I mean is having like a checklist or doing something in a specific order and doing it in a way that it flows for the job at hand. So, for example, when I'm setting up the Wonder Mum Success Club, I have the video and like the interview video that I do with the guest expert, and then I make up the challenge that goes with it, which is a 5-day challenge, and I have 5 emails that go out to the list and the promotional stuff. So I've got all these in a list in Asana, what needs doing and when they need doing by. So certain emails go out on certain days and all this sort of thing. So I've got it all in a checklist. There's some guy coming past. So I have it all in a checklist, and then I simply work through the list, and as I go through, I check it off. And what I do is schedule 1 day a week to set it up for the month and bang it all out in 1 day. And that makes it really easy and quick to do, because otherwise I'd be like, oh no, I didn't set up that email. Oh, I've got to schedule that email. Oh, I haven't set the post to go up in the Facebook group. So having everything set up with a checklist makes it much easier. So when I was at college, I did like summer work at a company that did ISO 9000. So basically they go into other people's companies and make sure that all their checklists are set up correctly and documented properly and all that. And my job was often like typing up the checklists and making sure that they all made sense. So I kind of have that under my belt on knowing how to do it. So Asana is great for that because you can set up reoccurring tasks as well. So if it's something that you have to do every month, like I do with the Wonder Mum Success Club, then it's really easy. You check it off and then it goes away and you get a little unicorn, and then it pops back up with the date for the next month, so you can repeat the task. But you can do it with anything. So if you want to, let's say setting up a blog post, and you do it in a specific way, you put in all the things that you do and how you usually set it up and have it as a template. And then that means that when you want to start delegating tasks, so if I want my VA to set up my blog post, I've got this checklist already set up, making sure that I don't forget to do things like, I don't know, setting up the Facebook share image or something, which is kind of hidden away behind a tab, so it's easy to forget. So if I go through the checklist, I know that I'm doing everything that's on the list and I'm not going to miss anything. Plus, I can pass it over to my VA and she can go through the checklist because everything is there. So one thing I would recommend if you're just starting doing this and you're not really sure how, first of all, when you're doing a task, think about whether you're doing it in the most logical order, or are you jumping around a lot? If you're jumping around a lot, you need to sit down and think, why am I jumping around? Which tasks need to be done first? If you start editing your photos for let's say a blog post. So you edit your photo and you put your text on the blog post, and then you find out that your blog post title isn't SEO friendly, then you're going to have to go back and change your image. So I think going through and making a logical list, what needs doing in which order, is a really good idea and a good way to start, even if you just do it on paper initially. And then go through it yourself, following the list that you've made. And that's when you start following the list and making sure that you're doing it step by step the way that you wrote it, that's when you'll find out if it's not working. So you can tweak it and then put it into somewhere like Asana where you can just move the list around and stuff. And the other thing I recommend doing, especially if you're teaching somebody a new piece of software or how to use a plugin or an app or something that may be very specific to what you do, or you want it doing in a very specific way, I use Loom. So it's loom.com, I think. It's a free tool. If you just put Loom video, it'll come up at the top of the search results. And they've changed it now. It used to be that you could just do as many videos how long you like, but I think you can only do 5-minute videos now unless you pay. But even a 5-minute video is long enough to do like how to do this basic task. So I will go in there and I'll say to my VA, right, this is what you do, dot, 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 dot. And then I'll just send her the video, and you can send it through Gmail. It's really easy. And that's a great way to teach somebody else how to do the tasks the way that you want them to be done. Yeah, so that is really the crux of it. It's time saving, and it's also great for when you want to outsource. And if you grow, and what tends to happen is a company will plod along for a while and suddenly there'll be a burst of growth, and the person at the top doesn't have time to do all of the jobs, but then is sticking when it comes to outsourcing because they don't know how to explain to people what to do, and it stops people from outsourcing. So this is a really good system to get in place before you get to that point, rather than wait until you do get to that point. So even if you're not ready to outsource yet, it's a good idea to start making these systems and processes and having them in place for when the time comes. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. I'll give you a quick whiz round. We've had some cyclists. I didn't think anyone used this road particularly, but it must be a shortcut between somewhere and somewhere. This road kind of reminds me where I lived back home, because I lived down a dirt track like this, and it often has potholes and full of puddles. Okay, that's today's question answered. I will see you in the next one.
I hope that answered all your questions today. If you have a question, pop it in the form below, and come and join us in Mums That Rock, which is our online community for mums who are multi-passionate and building a business around their family. Please like and subscribe to my channel and all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Cheerio!